All right, let's talk about that slow, maddening drip, drip, drip from under the sink. You know the one? It's a small problem for sure, but man, it can feel huge. But don't you worry. Today, we're going to demystify that leak and show you exactly what to do about it. So let's get right into it.
So you've spotted it, right? Whether it's a little puddle, a damp spot on the floor, or you just hear that unmistakable sound, you know something's not right. It's super annoying, it wastes water, and it's basically your sink yelling for a little attention. The good news? You're in exactly the right place to figure out what to do next.
And this quote, it really says it all. If you're dealing with a leak, trust me, you are far from alone. This is one of the most common issues people have in their homes, which means the solutions are really clear and they're well tested. So let's get to the bottom of what's actually causing your leak.
Okay, first things first, we need to play detective here. Before we can even think about fixing anything, we have to understand what's actually happening under that cabinet. It's not always just one thing that can go wrong, so let's pinpoint the issue.
So what's the cause of all this trouble? Well, a leak can start in a few different places. It could be the faucet itself, the water supply lines connected to it, or even the drain that's supposed to be carrying all that water away. Honestly, time and use are the biggest factors here.
So when you look at these common sources, you can see the culprits are often surprisingly simple. I mean, gaskets and seals, those are just little rubber rings that can dry out and crack over time. Supply lines can get a bit loose with temperature changes, old pipes can start to corrode, or maybe the drain just isn't sitting right. Here's a really easy way to narrow it down. To see if it's a drain leak, dry everything under the sink, stick a paper towel under that U-shaped pipe, and run the water. If that towel gets wet, bingo, your problem's in the drain. But if it was already damp before you ran the water, you're probably looking at a supply line or a faucet issue.
And this right here? This is exactly why you can't just ignore even a tiny little drip. What starts as a minor annoyance can seep into your cabinets, your floorboards, and even your walls. And that creates the perfect home for mold and can lead to some really serious structural damage down the line. So taking quick action is absolutely key.
Okay, now for the big question. Can you handle this yourself, or is it time to bring in an expert? Being really honest with yourself here is crucial for protecting your home, so let's break down how to make that call.
This slide pretty much illustrates your decision point perfectly. You see, for a small, manageable drip, you can start with a temporary fix. Just find those little valves under your sink, there's one for hot, one for cold, and turn them clockwise. That'll shut off the water and buy you some time. But if you see what's on the right side of this list, I'm talking active streams of water, a pool collecting in the cabinet, or damp stains spreading, that is a clear, unambiguous signal to call a licensed plumber right away. Oh, and if your kitchen sink and your bathroom sink are acting up at the same time, yeah, that probably points to a bigger issue that definitely needs a pro.
So, you've made the call? Now what? Just knowing what to expect can take a lot of the stress out of a service call. It's actually a very methodical process, not some chaotic mess.
First, they're going to do a really thorough inspection to find the exact culprit, no guesswork. Then, second, they'll get to the repair itself. This could be something as simple as replacing a $5 seal or maybe as involved as installing a whole new faucet. And finally, they'll secure everything, tighten all the connections, and reseal the areas to make sure you don't have this same problem again anytime soon.
Let's talk about time and money for a second. The cost is going to depend entirely on what the problem is. A simple gasket replacement? That'll be on the more moderate end. But replacing old, corroded pipes? That's going to be a bit more significant. The good news is, most of these repairs can be done relatively quickly, usually within a few hours, so you can get your kitchen back to normal the very same day.
Of course, the repair is only as good as the professional you hire, right? So, for our final section, let's quickly walk through how to choose a plumber so you can feel really confident in your decision. Just think of this as your hiring guide. First, are they licensed? This is totally non-negotiable. It protects you. Do they give you an estimate upfront so you know what you're getting into? A good professional will always stand by their work with a warranty. And in today's world, a quick check of recent online reviews can tell you a whole lot about their reliability and how they treat their customers.
And this is the final and maybe most crucial point. Don't be shy about asking these questions. Clarity is your best friend here. A reputable company will be totally happy to explain their guarantees and be transparent about any other costs that might pop up. Honestly, asking this one thing can save you so many headaches later on.
So there you have it. Your leaky sink is no longer a mystery. You now know how to figure out what's wrong and who you need to call. Tackling these small problems before they become big ones, that's really the heart of being a smart homeowner. So, with the confidence you've gained from this, what's next on your to-do list? Thanks for tuning in.